Well, good evening, everybody. Hope you all are doing well tonight, and welcome to Bourbon Neophyte. I just have a small little issue here. Let me see if it is gone, and it should be. Yes, it is. Perfect, perfect, perfect. I was wondering why there was such a delay, but I guess that was just on my side tonight and not on your all's side. But it seemed like that for a few seconds there, things were not going correct. So I think that's all resolved. If everyone can hear me, just let me know. So tonight we're doing a little bit of a change. And yes, we will get into some bourbon and more than likely some scotch. But believe it or not, I have not ever truthfully had spiked eggnog before because it's never been something I like or thought was, really anything worthy. I mean, I saw a few people talk about it last year on Live Wire Whiskey. Mike Stahl, he had one that he was going back and forth, and I believe one he didn't like, and I can't remember what the second one was that he got, but he did like it. And so when I was out and about on Saturday, or was it Friday, one of those 2 days, I saw a bunch of eggnog on the shelf. And so I thought, what the heck? I'm going to give it a shot. Never had it before. Like I said, it's particularly spiked eggnog. And so I thought, what the heck? I'm going to get some and see exactly what it's like. Talk to some people. They said it's good. Other people say it's different. Other people say they just didn't like it. Okay, well, that's fair enough. I said, I'm going to give it a shot. I'm going to see if I like it or I don't like it. But let's just see who all has popped in. Hey, Andrew, cheers, man. Glad to see you here. Always appreciate it. Big Vic, cheers, brother. Isaiah, great to see you. Mr. Jackson, wonderful. I saw that wonderful bottle chug you did on LimeWire. Really. Shredward, cheers. Glad to see you here. Holy smokes, look at this. We got the barbarian here, and he said eggnog is freaking delicious. Well, I don't know. I have not tried it. I mean, not spiked. I've had regular eggnog, and it was just sweet, thick, and I don't know. It was okay. That was about it. Other than that, I didn't go back for seconds. But the spiked, I've never, ever had. So, anyway, we're going to see what this is all about here a little bit. And then if I don't like it, I have plenty of water and I have something to actually get rid of that flavor off of my tongue. But I started off tonight with just a little Evan Williams bottled and bond. I had a couple of pours of that since the eggnog that I have is Evan Williams and it has supposedly Evan Williams bourbon in it. I thought, what the heck? I might as well start it off with that tonight. Mr. Morgan, I hope all is well for you across that pond. Hey, OH, man, nice to see you. Thanks for popping in. And Nick, only thing I could say is Adriana was just robbed tonight. That's for sure. She gets no respect. Hey, Jay, cheers, man. Thanks for popping in here. And those of you that are here, please do me a favor. Remember to hit that like button. And if you are new and you're just lurking in the chat, please do hit that like button and please subscribe and click on the bell so you do get all notifications so that when I go live or I do a video, you will be made aware. Okay, well, that's all I want to know is everything is good across that pond. Appreciate you all over there in the UK who decide to watch us over here. Oh, here we go. Bill's here. Now the gang is all starting to pour in. Cheers, man. Nice to see you. So I grabbed this, like I said, because I was like, I have got to give this thing a try. And not really knowing what was in it, It says Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey, blended whiskey, rum and brandy for a whopping, I think I said 17% in my comments, but it's not. It's 15%. Oh well, 30 proof. Woohoo! Something. So I don't know if you have to shake this thing up or not, but I'm gonna give it a few things here. I thought I saw something flying off of there. I'm like, what in the heck? So let me open that. So I had to get the right mug. So I figured we'll put it in my little Santa mug there and see if it's good. It smells sweet, that's for sure. Chug, chug, chug. Put a little in there. See if it's good. And Eric, if you add more booze, I don't even know if I'm going to like the booze that's in it. But if all else fails, we always have more. So, anyway, let me put this cap on this thing. I mean, what is it? Prepared and bottled by Evan Williams Distillery in Bardstown, Kentucky. Trying to get my eyes focused on this. Contains milk and eggs, artificial colors, and FD&C yellow number 5. Okay, well, all right. Doesn't sound like anything that's going to just kill me. Ready to serve, chill, and enjoy. Rich and smooth. Yeah, we're going to find out. Well, here's mud in your eye. We're going to see if it's any good. Well, I will say it's not terrible, but I don't know if it's good. It tastes like a drink to me that's very overly sweet. And the proportion to whiskey and whatever else this nog is not like in the correct amount. Maybe it's a taste that will grow on me. I don't know. I don't know. It definitely tastes like a drink that and it's not strong, but that's what it comes off to me. It's like you put too much whiskey in it. I don't know, but it just doesn't seem to be a cup of tea. Needs to be spiked more. You sound just like Eric. Says needs to be spiked more. I don't know. It just doesn't seem right. So you're saying that to add a little more Evan Williams to it? I'm not going to argue. The worst I'm going to do is pour it down the drain, clear my palate, and actually get some stuff. So let's pour a little more of this, whatever this eggnog is, in the glass. Take some more Evan Williams and see if that doesn't help. Well, you know what? I kind of figured in my mind it'd be something you put a straw in and sip it like a shake. No, that isn't going to happen. So we'll put a little more something in here just to see what happens. And we'll just make it dizzy here for a second. Who knows? It might be the thing. I don't know. Eggnog. Hold on, I got to highlight this because it just caught my eye. Eggnog with cast strength Angel's Envy is the bomb, huh? Well, when you send me that in my stocking for Christmas, you can see it there. I got 2 of them, Eric. You can pick which one you want to put something in. You go right ahead and bring that over, and I'll put it in there. So let's see if more of this made this actually what it says, nice or not. Holy shit. Yes, it did make it nicer. Wow. More bam made this a lot better. Oh, yeah. It's sweeter than I like it, but adding more stuff to it. Well, this has rum in it too, by the way, OH. I didn't say it, rum and brandy. Yeah, it had all of it in there, which I thought was an unusual concoction, but it had it all in there. And it's like, ooh, but wow. Hey, yeah, that definitely changed it, adding some more Evan Williams to that. Now that might actually become palatable. Oh yeah, that's exactly what it needed. That's hard to believe. It actually, to me, tasted like it wasn't mixed in the right proportion, that it was like too strong, or I don't know what else to say. But adding a little more Evan Williams bottled and bond to it, pow, that was the ticket, baby. Wow. Yeah, I definitely taste it now, but it's not like it was. That is for sure. Of course, I'm going to let him do it. I told you. Yes, yes, yes. We always get those people in here that like to say, I told you so. But that's just how this goes from time to time. Anyway, well, I will have to say, at first, I did not like it. That's correct. But added a little more pep to it, a little more Evan Williams on there. And I probably added about an ounce to this, and there wasn't a lot in there. There's probably about 2.5, 3 ounces. I don't know. But now for me, it definitely made it way more palatable. That's for sure. And you know what's funny, Bill? I was going to pick up a set of those darn um, moose mugs today. I was going to do it, but I just started walking around the store and slipped my mind. And it's so funny you put that on there, because I thought about that a few hours ago and I was going to go back, but I got lazy. That's for sure. And I did not want to do it. But all right, more bottle or more Evan Williams in the Evan Williams eggnog is the ticket. Straight out of the bottle, I didn't like it. The way they have it pre-mixed in here, no, wasn't for me. But take this, pour it in your glass, sweeten it up a little bit more with this to your taste, however you like it. Adding more of the bottled and bond Evan Williams to this is the ticket, which definitely made it better. Without a doubt. Without a doubt. That might be something for sure. I didn't think of that ever, but you know what? That might give it that cognac actually might go better with the sweetness of this concoction that the whiskey and the rum and the brandy is with in this particular one. But if you made it with the or if you got it with the unspiked, then you added your own concoction, bourbon baller, but used cognac. Now you got my wheels spinning, because that might be a little better as far as the mix goes, without a doubt. Exactly. That's exactly what I'm thinking. Once he put that on there, that got my little pea brain going. And I'm like, that does sound like it would be the ticket. But I'm okay with it now. If at first, that first try on that, no, I would have not went back to this thing probably ever. But now I know, booze it up, and here we are. Well, for my truthfully first taste of spiked eggnog, adding more booze to it definitely improved the taste of it. Because originally I would not have went back to that thing the way it was, would not have done it. But adding a little more Evan Williams to it is definitely the ticket, baby. Speaking of ticket, here is the ticket fixer.
I told you, I wouldn't lie to you. The more booze you put in it, the better it is.
Well, it just wasn't right. The first sips were not right. And I'm like, oh my gosh, you've got to be kidding.
It's an extraordinarily thick and creamy drink.
Yeah.
And with the amount of alcohol they put in it in those pre-serves, they're not cutting it enough. It's got to be cut a whole bunch more.
Well, and I got it. I mean, I believe it. But I also like what Bourbon Baller said and got me thinking about the cognac and doing that.
Oh, yeah.
And getting one without the booze in it and then mixing it with yourself. So put cognac in there with maybe some brandy.
Cognac, rum, and brandy.
Yeah. And substitute the bourbon.
Yeah.
For cognac. Because I think to me, that would be closer to the profile you would want in that. But anyway, I don't know. Well, look who we got here. What's up, Mr. Rance? Cheers, brother. Oh, look. Yeah. I saw you holding that thing up today.
Yeah, that's right.
I saw you holding that thing up. So you like it just the way it is, or did you add something to it?
So the way it is, I think it's a little thin. I like to get like either a store-bought eggnog, something local, or I like to make eggnog myself and then mix it 50-50 and then add extra booze. Definitely a couple more shots. It's definitely it itself lacks on some booze, but I feel like when you add
something wrong,
booze, it's thinner. I like it. So I like to add like the extra egg or whip it or something and then put booze in again. So
well, it was missing something because it was just off to me. It wasn't.
Yeah, it's missing more booze.
It wasn't good. Let me just say that. But adding the more booze to it.
What it's missing is this.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
What is that?
And yeah, bring it up.
Is that Master
Blend?
That? I've never seen that. What is that?
So this is a bottle that you can only get if you go to the Evan Williams Experience on Whiskey Row in Kentucky. It's a blend of the 12-year, the full proof, the bottled and bond, the 23, and then one of the other ones.
What's the proof?
It's really good. It's 90 proof. 90? But it's like it's basically a blend of like every Evan Williams that there is, including the 23.
And then some water. Oh my God.
And then some water.
They need to not add water to it. Let's try to keep that shit up above 100. All right, kids?
All right. Some barrel proof. That'd be great.
Whiskey, I guess, no, I can't say that just for some people it is. But for me, whiskey's got to be over 100 proof. It has to be. I can't drink it otherwise. It's too thin. It's too bland. It's tasteless.
This is pretty good for under 100 proof.
Oh, that's Dickel. There's nothing good about it.
Oh, stop.
There isn't. There isn't. I don't care how long you keep it in a barrel. It's still Dickel.
I think you should send him a blind with some of that in it so you can see.
You know, that's true. That's very true, Anthony. I feel like that's a great idea.
I have Dickel that I do drink up there.
17-year-old Dickel?
No.
17-year-old Dickel.
11-year-old, 12-year-old.
Hey, you've never had this one either. So maybe I should send you a blind.
Yeah.
You can.
Hey, drop your address in the private chat.
You send that out. I'll put it in there. Ugh. Sorry. Hold on.
17 years of crap in a bottle. I don't believe that. I really don't. I've heard people say the 17 is really good.
The 17 is. I like the bottled in bond. This tastes nothing like the bottled in bond at all. And I mean, I still like the bottled and bond, but this is far superior. I couldn't even. It's like candied oranges and toffee and fruity. I mean, I think the other one is a little fruity, but more like gingerbread and earthy. I mean, like it's got its own fruity niches, but this one is like another level of just absolutely like fruity and aromatic. It's something on its own. It's definitely different.
Donald Ranch, you're absolutely right, but that's different. Scotch and Irish are different than bourbon. To get bourbon down to below 100 proof, you got to add too much damn water. Too much damn water weakens it.
I'll say this: I don't know a lot about Scotch, but I know that some of the few that I've ever tasted are very aromatic and fruity. This reminds me of something like that, not in the sense of it has Scotch flavors, but in the sense that it has these like. It doesn't taste like bourbon on the foremost. Like I'm getting like raw fruit and nuts and flowers before I get like brown sugar and caramel and vanilla.
But I will tell you that the whiskeys that Greg McDonald sent me, he sent me a whole bunch of cask strength scotches, and I don't think they'd have been better at a lower proof. Now, granted, these were all just over 100, but that little amount made all the difference in the world. Those were delicious scotches.
I do believe that just a little bit of proof makes the difference. I've seen that in a few things. What's your bottom line, Eric? Like where is like the least you need to be at? Is it 100 proof?
For bourbon, I need to be at about 100 proof.
About 100 proof. Okay.
Now, like I don't like any Maker's Mark that isn't cask strength or the Maker's Mark 101. It's got to be cask strength. 101's the minimal I'll do. Any of those that are under 100 proof are too soft, not complex enough, because you've added so much water. You've taken the complexity that the wood imparted to it, and you've watered it down. And I just don't like it. It doesn't mean I'm right.
This is cask strength, though.
I know that's cask strength at 48.
At 40, it's 46.
46, 92 proof is cask.
But at 46, even at 46 at cask strength, it's extremely complex. Like,
right. And because they didn't add water to it, they didn't have to add water to get it down to 46. Just like Donald Ranch is right, there are a bunch of really good scotches below 100 proof, but they didn't have to add water to get them there. It's where they naturally reside.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
And I like Scotch, but every once in a while I want something that's got some kick to it. I'm a proofy bitch.
I also like the proofy stuff, but I have a thing for this low proof stuff. Sometimes it's nice and soft, and that's kind of pleasant on the palate. Sometimes, like I like the proofy stuff, but my palate does like this thing where it's like today I like Elijah Craig Barrel Proof, tomorrow I like Elijah Craig Barrel Proof, the next day it's not hitting the same spot anymore, and I need something different. And sometimes this lower proof stuff just slides right in there to that perfect spot. It's not all, but
Bill Monty, I think the sweet spot, and this is just me, for bourbon, I think the sweet spot is about 105 to 109 proof. I believe if you can find good bourbons at that proof, they don't burn real hot, although I like the burn. I like the burn also, but between 105 and 109, you get a very nice flavor. It's more complex. You pull out a lot more of those sugars. You do get a little bit more of the drying. You get a little bit more of the hell's it called? Comes out of the wood. Somebody help me out here. It's what red wine is. Tannic. You get a little bit more.
I didn't know where you were going with that.
You get a little bit more of the tannins out when you get above about 108 or 109.
I see where you're going with it now. Yeah.
But the tannins. So
because this isn't even 100 proof, and but that kind of a bite is just it's like it's so little on my tongue, but at the same time, like I get such a wash of flavors that like I don't mind that I only get a little bit of a bite in this one, like. But I see what you're saying, because like a 90 proof that's been watered down, like I I definitely noticed that like the flavor profile is very muted compared to something that's much more hot
Right.
and less
Yes.
water.
Yes.
We've all at one point or another in our journey of this have either put a few drops from an eyedropper into your whiskey, or you've put a ball of ice or something. And if you've tasted it first and then put the water or the ice in, you know the difference. It's immediate.
Immediate.
It's absolutely immediate, and it's more muted. There's nobody in the world that can say more water makes it less muted.
That's true.
I've struggled with bourbons about a 55. Sometimes I like being walked in a cave with an American gorilla that beats you to death with a mount like Donkey Kong. And I can see that down in ranch. I actually can. I can see that at 110 or above, for somebody who is primarily whiskey or Scotch and Irish Yoda, that's going to be a little hot on your palate and even down into your chest. I started with bourbon, and then I moved fairly quickly up to the above 100s, and I like them. But I also like cask strength Redbreast. I like a bunch of the cask strength scotches. I wish I've got them written down downstairs that Greg sent me.
That Redbreast. Well, he sent you the Highland Park cask series.
Yes.
Is what he sent you.
Yes.
And one of them that you had was the Florida edition that was 57.9 ABV.
Yes.
15-year-old.
And that was incredible.
It was too, because I drank my last drop of it with you.
Yeah.
I generally like the higher proof stuff, but I've got something like this even. It's the toasted barrel, the sour mash.
Oh, yeah.
And it's only 86 proof. But this is fantastically flavorful at 86 proof.
Mm-hmm. Some is, but in general, I wouldn't grab that because...
In general, I wouldn't grab an 86 proof. I wouldn't grab anything under 90-something proof, usually.
You know, I have a few 90s, and
I'll grab Eagle Rare. I like Eagle Rare at 90 proof, but there isn't too much else I would grab at that low proof. Maybe like an Elmer Lee or something, but...
I haven't even opened my Elmer's because
the
proof isn't there, and it's good whiskey, but it's not fantastic whiskey.
Yeah, I'm not, and I mean it's not a popular opinion, but I think Eagle Rare is horrible.
Mark, what's up, brother?
Is overrated. I definitely like a store pick here and there.
Blanton's is overrated. Buffalo
Blanton's is garbage. Blanton's is all hype. It's the bottle. If you put Blanton's in this bottle, nobody'd buy it. Straight up. If you put Blanton's in that bottle, nobody'd buy it.
Yeah, but if you put that bottle in Blanton's, people will pay $135, $140 all day for it.
It's disgusting. It's all bottle. Go buy it.
You know what? You know what, Brian? That actually might be really good. Because just like Bourbon Baller mentioned the cognac, 86 proof when you're making homemade vanilla extract.
I feel like you're probably in a better range at that time to draw out the flavors that you want from your vanilla at that point.
I'm just going to say that would probably really make it pop.
It's
going to be right in the place that you want it to be.
Macerate your vanilla beans and then put them in that and let them sit for a while.
See, I feel like bourbon is like your spice cabinet. It definitely has like every, proof and range, every different mash bill has its own flavor place. You don't always want each one at the same time. Some are more flavorful than others. Mm-hmm. Some are more reasonable to use more times than others. But I mean, at the same time, you will reach for those rare spices every once in a while because they do have a complex flavor to add to your life. So,
exactly. And Bill, I agree with you on that Glen Farkless, that's 17. 53.5 ABV definitely doesn't seem as hot
that doesn't seem to be
than some bourbons at 107. Right. And you're right. I absolutely agree with you on that. There's just, to me, there's no debate in that particular expression you're referring to. it certainly doesn't drink as high as it is. I would probably say 100 is really where it seems like it's at, not at 107. So everybody that's in here, please make sure you hit that like button and support the channel, and please subscribe if you have not done so. Let's see, sensation with the whiskey. I have Canadian whiskey at 65 plus. Bourbon just kills me though. Well, you know what? It's a totally different
It is. Yeah.
aging process and where it's at versus the Canadian whiskey and what it's at. And yes, you're right. There are some Canadian whiskeys that actually have a pair of balls and have some proof to it.
Oh,
so
Alberta, like the Alberta.
Yeah, I've got Alberta. Oh my God, Alberta Premium sitting there on the shelf.
Alberta Premium
is wonderful. Is wonderful, and you're right. There has some proof, and it's got its place in there. It's really good.
Or like isn't 1910 like 93?
1910?
Yeah, it's 93 proof, right?
Yeah, I think that's about right. 92 or 93. Let me see.
93. I think it's 93.
I don't know off the top of my head. Maybe Bourbon Baller knows off the top of his head.
Yeah, but it's 93. It's delicious.
Brian, it has got to be good. Yeah. You know, just what you said, the batches have come out awesome with that vanilla extract with that. It's got to be good. I bet you that vanilla really just comes out. Oh, yeah. Yeah, start it in June, May, June. You'd definitely be ready for December.
Yeah. Well, Anthony, I'm gonna do day 4.
Hold on. I got to bring it up. Oh, that's right. Your Advent.
Yeah, the Advent. I wanted to come on and do it with you, man. Perfect. Now, day 4 in the.
Hold on. Let me get you up here again.
Yeah, the 21090 day 4 is a Tumbling Dice 6-year-old store pick from Tumbling Dice. And so I just wanted to come on with you and share my day 4 with you on your stream.
How many Advent calendars do you have? You got a shelf turds behind you.
Yeah, it's 24 days of the Advent calendar thing. Oh man, that's got some nice vanilla covered like red fruit sweetness right up front. I don't know what the proof is of this. They didn't have that on the little calendar when it tells you what number day is what bottle.
What's it taste like to you?
Well, Tumbling Dice is MGP. It's 6 years old. It's a single barrel store pick. And so it's got a lot of great characteristics in it with a lot of sweetness, a lot of fruit. Not a lot of things going on in the middle. It's up front and in the back. But it's pretty good. What's Tumbling Dice run? Like 50, 60 bucks a bottle?
Probably.
Yeah.
It's been a while since I've actually looked at it.
Yeah, it's from Coppola.
Yeah.
What's his name? John Coppola sent this sample in. It's pretty good though.
Would you pick up a bottle of it?
If it's like 60 bucks, yeah. But I wouldn't go more than that. If you can get it cheaper for that, then for sure, yeah. Yeah, Bourbon Baller lacks in the mid palate. I find most MGPs lack in the middle. There's a few like really special things that some people put out. Like Independent Joe sent me this like super select special smoke wagon release that was freaking excellent.
The experimental.
Yeah, that's one of the best MGPs I've ever had. The majority of MGPs.
What was the char level on it? Did he put the char level down on it, like A, B, C, D, E?
Yeah.
Do you know what it was?
No, I don't. You'd have to ask Joe because he sent it to me in a blind fight that we did together.
You know what, Brian? I actually saw that Flaviar advent calendar thing, and looked interesting. But I talked to a couple other people, and I guess they got it in years past. They said it was good, but it was kind of on the lackluster side. I mean, they said it was fun to do, but they were looking for a little more pizzazz, let's say, in the selection. There we go. But I was going to get a couple of different ones this year, but I said, you know what? Everybody's doing an Advent thing. I'm just not going to do that.
Yeah, well, I didn't want to do a video every single day. I wanted to do a few, like jumping on, like with you, and day before yesterday, I was on Bourbon's live, having it with him, stuff like that. I don't want to pump out a video every single day because everybody's doing that, and well, it doesn't sound fun to me at that point. Like if I'm on with you, sharing it with you, sharing the experience live and whatnot.
Exactly. And my point exactly, I'm so glad you did it because I'm all for that.
Yeah.
I've let everyone else do it. I have a few things planned over the next 2 weeks or so for different stuff. And one of them is, hey, like an Advent thing. I've got a couple of bottles. I just haven't decided what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
And like for this one, I've never had spiked eggnog.
Spiked eggnog. Okay.
Yeah. In other words, I always had it plain and I just was never, it's okay. It's just sweet and thick and blah.
Right.
And so I saw this on there and I thought, I'm going to do a quick little thing on that because I've never had it. And what it really needed was more booze. So I put more booze in it. And lo and behold, it was way better. Way better. And Mr. Jackson and I have pretty much had the same bottle.
Yeah.
Yeah. See. And
Evan Williams Eggnog, huh?
Yeah. It just needed more Evan Williams in it. And then Bourbon Baller said, hey, if you get it, get the plain with no booze, add cognac, rum and brandy.
Cognac, huh?
Cognac. Yeah. And that got my wheels spinning. I'm like,
yeah. That adds a totally different flavor spectrum to it.
Well, it might meet the bulk of for the sweet that it is. Mm-hmm. And cognac itself is more refined sweetness.
You know what one you need to add to it, Anthony?
I think it would go better. What's that?
This one.
Is that?
Grand Marnier?
That would. That's the Grand Mariner or yeah.
It's the Grand Mariner. It's like a blend of 50-year-old cognacs and orange liqueur.
50 years old?
Yeah, this was like $300 or something like that.
But it's the youngest is 18, right?
Yeah, and then like the next one down from here is it's like 25-year-old cognacs and then the orange liqueur. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. This is the one.
Yeah. I've only ever seen pictures of that. I've never seen it on the shelf.
Yeah, neither have I.
I've seen it. I got it at Total Wine. They get them around the holidays.
Oh, it's a pretty bottle, man.
It's got like 4 in it. Lawyers and doctors will buy them.
I watched a guy buy a $1,500 or $1,600. Was it Glenfiddich?
It's pretty fantastic, actually. A little bit of this, some orange juice, some champagne. There you go.
Wait, orange juice and champagne. That's a.
No, don't use this for that. No, you put this. Just put this in a Glen. That's what you do with this.
No, what's that drink called? Mimosa.
A mimosa. Yeah, use like shitty vodka or regular Grand Marnier.
Yeah, I had one of those when I was in Vegas.
This is just fantastic. You just put this in a Glen, eat it like just it's like dessert. Like what you do with this is like you would have like a piece of cheesecake and then drink this with it.
Oh, just for dessert, yeah.
Yeah, just for straight up for dessert. Like, and this is like this washing it down with this is fantastic because it's just so smooth and palatable. Yet it's just got like these powerful orange and floral flavors with it. Like
you should be in a robe next to a fireplace.
Yes, that's what you want. You want to have it in a glass like this. You want to just be like,
yeah, just bougie as shit. Yeah.
Hey, Mark, Jay had a question for you. If you didn't answer it, I didn't.
Oh yeah. Hey Jay, I put the video up last night. I tried that one live. I really liked the complexity of that Elijah Craig barrel pick, man. That was pretty good. I liked it a lot.
yes,
nice and coffee.
Yep, coffee.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, now that I got the eggnog gone, washed it down with 1.5 ounces of bottled and bond Evan Williams. Now it's time for a real drink.
Yeah.
Oh, that sweetness was wow. And what shall I pour?
That's what I was just going to ask you.
Well, I've been drinking this. I don't have much left, but I have a backup. This is the Yellowstone. This is the special edition 115 proof.
Oh, okay.
I got this in September and I bought 2 because I knew this was going to be good. And I've got about maybe 2 pours left. But this is so damn good.
Is it?
Just sit and sip on this bastard.
Because I found the regular, the 93 on base, and I thought it was mediocre.
That is, and I think that's the old label. And there you go.
There I am.
Yeah, that's the old label. But if you can find this, Mark, this is cherry sweetness. Nice viscosity on it. Oh my goodness.
Oh, nice.
And I think it was $70.
Okay. I mean, the way you described it, it sounds good.
It is. It's really good. Now, I didn't see the Marcella cask one, but I was told about that bourbon baller. No, I didn't. I did not see it. Where did you put that up at? Did you put it on Discord? On Ken's stream? Or on Ken's Discord? Sorry. I don't remember. Because I started watching the movie today, but something came up and I had to leave.
Oh.
So I didn't get to finish watching the Battle of Britain. But I have seen it dozens of times.
I can't see anybody on StreamYard. Everybody's blacked out. So I'm going to shut off and come back.
Blacked out. It had to be him because I see everybody and everybody sees us. So.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what he means by blacked out.
Well, it could be him. You know, it's Eric.
Too many drinks for blacked out.
Yeah.
Just like,
So is that what you poured? Did you pour another one of that Yellowstone?
I can. I don't need my arm twisted to do it.
All right, so I'll pour some of this with you before I run because I got to work. I got to wake up at 4:30 in the morning, man. So
I do too. 4:30, 5 o'clock. Yes. But all right. See how I caved to peer pressure. I'm going to have another. I said I'm not going to start out at 115. I'll work my way up to it, but that's okay. That is okay. I still got a little. But yeah, this thing is good. This is really good. I'm so glad I got a backup because I can't find these on the shelf anymore.
No, I haven't seen that on the shelf. I've seen it online, but I haven't seen it on the shelf anyway. I bought
2 of them, and during Whiskey Weekend here in September, when Shane and them were here, we were all where they had it. And I forget who picked this up, but somebody picked up the last bottle they had on the shelves, and that was in September. But oh my God, it's good stuff. Good stuff. I mean, the nose is nice.
All right,
Little
hey,
ethanol
Anthony,
at
what does
first.
the back of that bottle say? Because this one says it's distilled and aged in Kentucky, bottled by Limestone Branch Distillery. So it's like alluding to it's two different places. Because I saw the question come up asking if it was sourced.
Distilled and aged in Kentucky, bottled by Limestone Branch Distillery, Lebanon, Kentucky.
It says bottled by Limestone.
Bottled by Limestone Branch Distillery. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you see how it's a separate line that says distilled and aged in Kentucky.
Distilled and aged,
bottled,
yes, it is.
Then bottled by Limestone. So does that mean it's sourced?
Well, and maybe Limestone is a non-producing distiller. Don't know. Never bothered
to. If their own stuff, why didn't they just have it all one sentence?
Who knows? Who knows?
Yeah. So whoever's bottling it is in Kentucky, and whoever is distilling and aging it is in Kentucky. But it doesn't say clearly if those two people are the same guy.
They're the same. They're the same, but different. Same, but different.
Okay, Limestone Branch Distillery is Limestone Branch is produced in Limestone Branch Distillery. Some of the most popular expressions of Limestone Branch Distillery are Yellowstone. Hang on, because now it's slowed down on me.
David, that 115 is amazing stuff.
Minor Case Rye, Limestone Limited or Yellowstone Limited Edition 2019 bourbon, Yellowstone Limited Edition 2020 bourbon. So Limestone Branch is a producing distillery.
Okay.
Right.
And this one's the single barrel. So this was, let me just see. This one was barreled in November of 17.
Yeah.
So
it's a good looking distillery.
Yeah, I'm happy with this bottle. Dave's he's drinking some, and no, Andrew, I had been this past week a few days on day shift, but I'm back to my afternoon term.
Edward said Yellowstone can suck it. I love it.
Yeah, for you, Donald, I wouldn't buy it at that. At the $70 price range, it's absolutely worth it. But at $200, if that's what that bottle is going for up there, it leaves it sit on the shelf all day.
There's very little out there that I'd buy at $200.
Yeah, especially this.
Yeah,
it's $70 good, but definitely not $200 good.
Yep, I can get a lot of really good stuff for around the $67 range. So if I'm going to spend $200, it better be good.
I'd spend $200 for William LaRue Eller.
Yeah, yeah.
But be real. You won't find it for that.
No, you can't touch.
So okay, so what is something you would spend $200 on that you can find?
That I can find.
Can find that anyone can find. What's something that you just
Knob Creek 18? He'd spend $200 on if he could find it again.
I spent $200 on Knob Creek 18.
Yep, and if it's out the door after tax and everything, if it's out the door, I'll do a master's keep.
Yeah.
That's the limit, though, because every once in a while you can get them for slightly under, but not very much under. And so a master's keep, that's a $200. For me, everything else, not so much.
You know what, Bourbon Baller? I'm liking this, and this is a Sam's special edition, this particular one that I have. And I know what you're talking about, but I haven't seen those. But This for the money,
Yeah.
for about a 5-year-old juice, it isn't bad at all. I mean, it's damn good. I was enjoying a couple of glasses of it over the last 2 nights and just sitting there and sipping on that, and the sweetness and the cherry and the viscosity and the just how it warmed everything, and the finish coming back with the sweetness and the spice was freaking good.
Yeah. If you can find more than one of those bottles again for 70, let me know, and we'll do a thing.
Oh yeah. I got you, brother. I got you. You know what? The Russell's 13, I'm hearing it's hit or miss. Some bottles are out of this park. Other ones are just and you might as well just get the Russell's 10.
Yeah, I heard there was multiple batches. Yeah.
Yeah. But then there are other people that that say, "Oh my gosh, yeah,
they are not all equivalent."
Yeah, they're not all equivalent.
Have any of you guys had any Hidden Barn stuff yet?
I've got batch one.
How did you like it?
I didn't open it yet.
Okay, because I've been reading about it, and one of the things that the distiller is doing there is he's actually using what are called yeast baskets, and he's capturing wild yeast from the area. So he's not using commercially available yeast. He is trapping natural yeast that's out there, and they're saying that that's giving his whiskey a flavor that people aren't used to.
Oh yeah, because it's a natural element,
So what I'm sort of thinking is this. I remember when the craft beer industry first started.
Right.
And there were very few people who actually liked craft beer. I liked craft beer.
Yeah.
I thought it was delicious. And I'm thinking that, like with Hidden Barn and some of these others, it's a flavor we're not used to, but it doesn't mean it's bad. And we've got to I think it's important that bourbon evolve. And one of the things the guy who's the master distiller at Hidden Barn said is, if the apocalypse happened tomorrow, he doesn't think very many master distillers could still distill whiskey because they don't know how to trap yeast. They've never gone out in the wild and actually trapped wild yeast.
Okay.
And so I don't know if it's good. I've heard people say it's funky. And I'm a funky whiskey person. I love Balcones, different Balcones whiskey. And that's a much different flavor for most people. Balcones.
And I have a thing for Balcones, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's crap.
I know you do.
But let me just say, on the Balcones, people are telling me I've just drank the wrong ones. Unfortunately, they produced a lot of crap. Yeah. But they have produced a few lemons, and the lemons turned out to be their good ones. In other words, the ones that you wouldn't expect. So I haven't seen them.
See, I love my ZZ Top Balcones, the Tres Hombres.
Mm-hmm.
Tres Hombres.
I like their basic, their Texas rye. It is a dark, almost unsweetened chocolate with a mint behind it, and I like it, but most people don't. But I think it's because most of us like the Budweisers, the Millers, and the Coors of whiskey. And I think
most of us. I know you're not talking to me.
Nope. Dude, the Pacific Northwest was coming out with craft beers like crazy decades ago.
Right. And
Cheers, Donald.
But I think that there's a lot of people out there who are whiskey drinkers who want sort of the middle of the road vanilla, brown sugar.
Yes.
No,
I know what you're saying.
Over and over again. Nobody wants to try whiskey outside the Budweisers of whiskey.
Right. Well, I used to call MGP the fast food of whiskey. It's the McDonald's whiskey. I like this whole shelf is all craft distilleries because that's my jam.
Yeah. And Brian Hughes is absolutely right. Almost any whiskey that comes across as terroir forward is likely to be presented as funky.
Yeah.
And it's because there are certain distillers out there now who are aiming for a terroir-inspired brand.
Mm-hmm.
And we like that in Scotch. Those of us that are Scotch drinkers, and I'm new to the game, but I like the terroir of Scotch.
Yeah.
But it seems to me that a lot of people don't like the terroir of bourbon.
Brian, I have a question for you.
Not yet, Andrew. I'm looking.
Brian, are you the Brian that I spoke to this weekend? Let me know in the chat. If you say yes, then I exactly know who you are, because just what you mentioned in this particular one, it's like it caused me to take even more notice. Okay, yeah, he is. So let me just tell you, I met Brian this weekend, and an exceptional palate, mind, when it comes to whiskeys, particularly Scotch, because he picked up a oh my gosh, 18-year-old. What was it you picked up? I said it was a 13-year-old. I thought it was a Springbank, and it was oh my gosh, it wasn't a Springbank, but the color is what got me, and I grabbed it on the shelf because I was looking at something else that they put up. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and
Oh my God, what was it that you bought? It just it popped out of my head. I can see it. Wasn't Glenfarclas. Was it Glendronach? No. Oh my gosh, I cannot believe it. Okay. The Springbank 15, that's right. And the Glenallachie 18 is what you had. So he had the Springbank. I thought it was the 13. And man, I hand reached out, and I didn't realize they sent it on a counter for him, because they were showing me some stuff they had behind the counter that they only going to bring out if somebody like me or Brian really showed up, or if someone specifically asked.
You guys were at the same liquor store?
Yeah, he's not far from me. In other words, he just lives on the other side of town, but he picked up something. And so he and I started a conversation, of course, about whiskey. And when he started talking about Oloroso finished versus PX, my ears lit up, because he knew exactly what it was. And he went off, and I was like, you're absolutely right, because Oloroso finished is so loose. I mean, there's no real regulation or anything like that. I mean, it could be a stave, and I'm being sarcastic, and then they could say it's Oloroso finished. However, when you're talking about a PX or Pedro Jimenez finished whiskey, that is totally different, and it's
more specific.
It is exactly specific. But he's extremely knowledgeable when it comes to that. And so I told him about the channel. I says, oh my God, you have to come on. And so I actually invited him one time to come on, and we're going to have a discussion on scotches and the finishes, particularly Oloroso, and how ambiguous it can be. And some people really like it, but do you know the difference in so on and so forth? Anyway, wow, I really enjoyed speaking with him.
That's awesome.
Liquor lineup. So
that's really cool.
Really good guy. Really good guy. I mean, we only talked for maybe about 20 minutes or so, but I was just mesmerized listening to him talk and pointing out different things, and the Kavalan, and because I'm interested in that, and he broke it down for me, and we talked about that. And I'm kind of going off on a tangent here, but he just knew, and he turned me on to some things and pointed me into a direction. Now I'm going to start to look a little more and a little deeper into that particular line of scotches. I was really glad to have the conversation with him, and and there's reasons why people come together at certain times and so on and so forth. And I was
that's awesome.
Very happy to meet him.
It's good to meet somebody with the similar interest and that knowledge and like investment they put into it. Like, it's fun to meet somebody with that same kind of
very enthusiastic and knows his whiskey. I mean, he's like us. We can sit down and have a pour, but actually drink the pour and study it, experience it, get what we want out of it, not just slamming it back and putting out some bullshit type of review. He's like us. We will sit down with more than one pour and really get into it and pick it apart, not over 5 minutes, but over some time. And I knew he's somebody I needed to talk to, without a doubt. Sorry, not to go off on a tangent, Brian. Sorry. That's awesome. He was just a real good guy, and I really
I really want this guy Brian to
he and I we'll get together.
You know what I mean? Like, dude, hit me up on Instagram or something, man. Let's chat.
Well, Brian, he's Northwest Bourbon.
Yeah. And Anthony, to go back like 5 minutes, Shredward put on here he had spent $200 on Old Carter.
Yeah.
I'm curious. Foregate, almost everything Foregate puts out is around that 200 mark. Do you guys feel that's worth it?
I haven't had a Foregate.
I've never had a Foregate, but everybody who's had one doesn't seem to pay the price to get it. They all seem to think that whatever it costs to buy the MSRP on Foregate is worth it.
Really? I've never even seen one of those out here in Colorado.
Me either. Not here in New Mexico either.
Yeah, when I go to see my brother in Tennessee, I'll go to his local liquor store and I'll see a whole line of Foregate, and they're all about $200. And I'm always hesitant to buy one because it's like that's a lot of money to spend on something you've never tried before.
Well, and that's a thing that Brian and I were talking about too, that some can be just outrageously priced. I mean, at one point we all said we're never paying more than $50 for a bottle. Then the 50 went to 75, easy 100.
Right
now we've all hit that $150 to $200 mark.
James Morgan in the house. What's up, buddy?
And we've all done it.
Right.
I mean, Mr. Jackson over there grabbing his because he knows what we're talking about. We've all done it. That's it. That's the Dickel I have. Is that the 11?
That's the it's the 13.
Okay, you got the 13 year,
right?
I think I have the 13 year
or the whole box.
So, but that's the Dickel I have that I like. I can't remember if it's the 2008. That's it, the 2008. That's the one I can drink. That's the 2008.
Yeah.
That's the one I can drink. Other than that, they're crap.
I bought the whole box. You didn't see?
Well, no, if you like it, you buy what you like. I don't give a shit. You buy all you can stand. I mean, Eric's the same way. If that's what you like, you buy it. I'm sorry.
You bought a case, bro.
You wanted to buy all that, but hey, if you got it for $20 a bottle, you did good.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
I mean, really, you did well. But I would put that.
I think it was like because I bought the whole box. I think it came down to like $38 a bottle.
Well, see, I would have bought. I would have bought the Glenallachie 18 that Brian did for that money.
Normally, that's a pretty deal.
But he got the last bottle. But that's okay, Brian. I know where there's more. I know where there's more.
All right, so you got to clear up the air for me. You're calling him Brian, but his name says C. Jackson. What's going on here?
No, he's not Brian. He is C. Jackson. Brian is here in chat.
Oh, so you're talking to that Brian? Okay.
I was. No, that's all right.
I had a little moment there of confusion.
It happened.
I'm really excited because I won on Cheech's giveaway this month. I won the Rebel single barrel cask strength store pick. So I'm excited to try that.
Hey, Jackson, I'll pour a Dickel with you.
All right.
I can't do it. I'm drinking this fine Yellowstone, and I'm not going to ruin it with that Dickel that I got up there. But Brian, I'm going to tell you what. I'm really on the fence on that Kavalan. I'm going to do a little more research on it. I may go and get the set that you talked about. However, I may go to Liquor World and look for that pick you told me about. So
20-year-old liquor wherever she wants to be licked.
That's true. But I'm going to really think about that, because at that ABV on that PX finished one, I do believe that's what it was. That has intrigued me to no end. I've been thinking about that since you told me about it.
C. Jackson, did you mark those?
Nope.
So you have no idea which is which.
Nope.
Holy smokes! They won $200 for that day. They have got to be freaking out of their ever loving mind. Sorry,
I've heard that.
That is
sorry,
so much different
sorry.
from yellow.
That just caught me off guard.
I've heard
This
that
is the bottled and bond.
it's delicious. I've
This
heard
is
Is it $200 good?
yeah,
is it
well, I
too-
probably shouldn't have fucking slept on it. But I mean, it wasn't everywhere to be gotten. That's the problem. You know, if they're going to release something like that they know is going to drive the price up, release it, drop it everywhere at the same time, so we all have a chance before it goes up to $200 a bottle.
Yeah.
Because I'm not buying $200 bottle of American single malt before I taste it.
Yeah, no way. Although I did pay a lot.
Top
for
shelf
the
line.
bottle.
Okay, I'm
Before
going
I
to go
take
to the one here, Brian, and by me, and
Not
see
regretting anything
if
of
they
it, though.
can't get that. I'm
Is
going to
that a
go
good
tomorrow
feeling?
morning. Sorry, guys. Just keeping up with chat here a little bit.
You're good.
And you know what, James? That's why I talked about that FOMO last week. It gets us all. I mean, I'm pretty much out of it. But that one particular one by Jack Daniels, I heard so much about. But at $200, my FOMO is damn well gone. I'm not interested at $200 unless I can have a pour of it and know if it's good or not.
Right.
Are you
But
talking about the
I'm-
single malt?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's that new one that they're coming out with.
Yeah.
like 200 everywhere now.
What?
Yeah,
I thought that was like a $60, $70 bottle.
it was. But everybody's grabbed it and driven the price through the roof.
Oh, goodness gracious. That's why we can't have nice things.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly why we can't have nice things.
I'm telling you, ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. But
Tell you what.
mhm.
That's sad. Sad.
T. Jackson's giving it the old SJ, the old swirl job. Giving it the good swirl job. Then he's tasting it. But he doesn't.
Here we go. There's the price.
It's
Yeah.
just not. It's just night and day. This 17 is just so much more mellow, but it still has a lot of flavor. But the bottled and bond just bites you right away.
Does it bite you?
Yes,
with
it does.
Stone vitamins.
No, I don't get that. I don't know why. See, that's why I like it. I don't know why everybody says that. They like say
I don't
vitamins
get that
or,
on that bottle.
or
Do
mint
not
or
get the
something like
vitamins on
that.
that bottle. Mm-mm.
I get like gingerbread. And
Well, I don't get gingerbread, but that's okay if you get it.
I get gingerbread. Yeah,
Hold on,
like
let me look.
gingerbread and, like I get orange peel on both, but on the bottle and bond it's more mellow. Whereas on the 17 it's like candied orange peel.
Oh,
Like-
So I have to prove that I
yeah, Lee. Lee, you told me
Come
you got
on
one
here,
at the store
people.
for me. Marvin went there yesterday, and Troy went there today to
Come
pick
on,
it up
people.
for me. And both days you weren't there, man.
why
And
is
so,
it this
yeah,
big?
I'm
There we
tracking.
go. All right. I have it. I've had this for a couple of years.
That's right.
Here it is.
It's the good stuff.
This one I can palate. I've got it just about half. This one I could palate. This one I don't get the Flintstone. Oops, the Flintstone vitamin thing that Eric was talking about on. I don't get that with this one. And I've had a few pours out of it. I haven't had it recently, but I've had it. When I say recently, I think I had a pour out of this maybe a month or two ago. But you just can't find these anywhere. So the box you got, that's the case. And as far as I'm concerned, the one that's worth having if you want to try some Dickel juice. But other than that,
man,
it's
I'm
not
excited
worth
about
the
it.
crap.
I want it. I'm excited you saved it for me, and
This
I'm
is
looking
the only
forward
one
to
I had
getting it.
that I tasted like minerals on. It was
Yeah,
the bottled and bond, or what is this?
that's the
The
15.
single barrel, the 15. It's
Yeah.
bottle 15. Look,
Yeah, it's not 15 years old, right? It's bottle
it
15.
was the tag said
No, it's
17.
15
old,
years.
but it tastes nothing like this 17-year-old.
Yeah, it's 15 years.
And it's minerally.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really mineral. I mean, it was like it had this like nice chocolate, like eclair note on it, and then it just went straight to minerals, like I was drinking out of a river.
Oh,
That's Dickel for you.
But I don't get that on the bottled and bond at all.
You don't. I don't know what it is about that one.
See, I don't get it on the bottled and bond at all. And maybe at least not so much the 2008 13. Like like I said, it's like gingerbread. It's sweet and a little bready. I don't want to say grain or
Mhm.
corn.
Hey, it's
But-
all goodly. I hear you.
Man, This-
Troy said he'd be back later this week to
but
stop
now
by your
having it
place.
next to the 17, like I'm like some of the notes in the 17 like really pop out. Like I said, like you get like orange peel on both, but the 17 is like candied, and then it goes into like this like sweet like toffee note.
Yeah. Yeah, dude, my 9-year is better than the 15-year.
Is it okay?
Yeah, for that Dickel, like this guy, this 9-year one, the profile is just more pleasant than the 15.
Okay. Yeah, that 15 I had was not very good at all.
Yeah, me too.
Australians are in the house now.
Chris Tats, come on.
hey, Ted.
All right,
He's
hey Anthony, I got a Bourbon Baller Lee. This is his store pick of his.
oh, I know.
makers.
He's got some tremendous store picks.
Yeah. So I'm gonna close out with you, cheersing you with that, because I gotta go.
I
gotta get
understand,
ready
dude.
for work tomorrow.
Cheers, brother.
Oh man, yeah, Lee's got some good store picks, man. He really does.
No, it's good to have people like him on there that bring out the true prices. Tell us what the retail price is and so on and so forth. And you can see how quick something's hitting the market and it just doubling, tripling in price just because it's that
Yeah, I
latest
know.
and
The
greatest
store
thing out.
down the street from me has Blanton's for $300 for this single barrel, the regular one.
Yeah, well, I
I
turned
was
it
like,
down
dude,
at
I can get it
$70.
for $65. Go blow yourself. All right,
Yeah.
so hey, cheers, guys.
All right.
No, it was good.
Yep.
I enjoyed having some drinks with you guys, but I gotta run.
I understand. Don't run, dude. Just walk. But
Yeah,
we'll see you again.
you're
I'll
hot.
walk around.
Great. Don't
All right,
run.
see you guys later.
See ya.
Later.
All right, man. Good night, Ben. Always glad to see you here, brother.
Have you guys tried any of the Buzzard's Roost stuff?
You know what? No, I don't see it out here, but I hear decent things about Buzzard's Roost.
This is the Toasted American Oak. It's a
Mhm.
straight bourbon whiskey, 105 proof. And I've let it sit for a while. And I get a caramel corn. I mean, like Cracker Jacks. Like I'm looking for the prize.
hmm
Just this amazing Cracker Jack quality about it, without the peanuts. It's Cracker Jack without peanuts.
But it's amazing.
It's really good, and
Yeah.
their cigar rye. If you can find the cigar rye, you'll want as many bottles of those as you can get.
I saw Joseph Magnus today. It was $100, and I passed on it. You guys think
Which one?
The cigar
Which
blend?
one? That's the thing.
not a cigar blend?
Yeah, then that's just a mediocre. I mean, it's not terrible, but it's not terribly good.
See, that's how I felt about it. Didn't seem special. I've heard the cigar blends are really good, but I haven't heard anyone
Yes.
like rave about the regular one. So
David Buzz, get it, man. That the the Buzzard's Roost cigar blend. That guy lightly toasted the inside of those barrels, and then he put them over a bundle of cigar wrappers that were smoking, and let that smoke penetrate that wood just a little. It's not overwhelming. It's very much a winter rye, and it's so good. It is so good. If you don't believe me, which a lot of people don't, then go talk to Jeffrey Wack. He'll tell you it's good too.
Bourbon Baller, you're welcome, dude. You're a good supporter of us, and being that you are, we have to support you because you really help us and keep everybody grounded as far as prices and stuff goes, but also your picks
are all delicious.
Although I will say this, I've never had one before, so I don't have any other ones to compare this to.
That's the 10, right? If I saw it.
10. This is pretty good.
Dude, I have a friend that she came over because she's a rye fan too. And I got that bottle. I got a bottle of the 10 last year, so she came over to drink it with me. We drank most of that bottle, and she left 2 days later. So it's a good bottle of rye.
Yeah, I've only got about like this much more of it, and then the rest of it's Mike Stahl's. But it's pretty good.
Yeah,
it's pretty good.
See, I haven't had one. I turned it down last year because I thought the $102 price tag on a bottle was ridiculous.
I paid it second.
I'm not even going to mention how much I paid for this one then. But I will say this, I overpaid for it. But it's pretty good. I don't think I would buy it again at that price, but I would buy another one if I could find it at retail.
I'd pay 110 for it. I
would pay that for it.
Hey, if it's good to you and it's within your budget, that's all that counts.
Right. This is in my budget. It was a little much. I don't think I would never pay this much again. But I don't really see them out here. If I hear they're out, they're usually gone already. So
the one I got last year, I got as a Christmas gift, and good Lord Almighty, I just love the person that sent it to me. It was the best rye, and
it's super fantastic. I see why people chase it. Oh, hold on a second. Let me go grab something. I gotta show you.
All right. Now that I've got the Yellowstone down, had some Evan Williams. I am definitely not going to polish off a
I've been trying to get into 5280 Whiskey Society here in Colorado, and they had Michter's come out the other day. So I got to try their entire lineup. It was like 9 different shots. I've never tried most of these before because they're pretty hard to find out here. Like a Michter's 10 rye and a Michter's 10 bourbon. I've never even seen one. It's they're not existent. So we got to try this year's Michter's 20 whiskey. The master distiller was there. He mentioned 3 different times in his speech. He's like, I do not have one of these at my house. They're so hard to get. He told us there's only 500 bottles of it.
They are MSRP $750 for whiskey.
I got to try it. And I see why I'll never get one. It's a 20-year-old whiskey at 114.2 proof. It was absolutely fantastic.
And they're saying that if you can get one, you can turn it for $7,000.
That's what I heard. Like I said, if you can get one, the master distiller doesn't even have one at his own house.
Yeah.
He said it 3 different times in his speech. He was like, and yet again, guys, I don't even have one of these. There's so few of them. I was blown away when he said it the 3rd time. I was like, are you serious? Like, I got to talk to him afterwards. I was like, you don't have one of those? He was like, man, he's like, if I could get my hands on one, I'd have one. He's like, they're so hard to get. He's like, I have to buy them at the gift shop or whatever, or at a store, just like everybody else. I was like, wow.
Since I don't have a Springbank 13, I do have a 10-year-old Springbank, but it's a 2016 bottling. And wow, this thing is so good that I'm treating it very, very nicely. But because Brian had came to chat and I was looking for a 13, I'm going to have a little Springbank 10.
I saw a Heaven's Door 10 today. Has anyone tried that?
No, but it's pretty much everywhere.
Yeah, and when they first came out, nobody seemed to like them, and now I've read reviews where people are more and more accepting of them. So maybe they've changed. I don't know.
It was like $100, and I haven't heard anything great about them, so I passed on it. But
you know what, Bourbon Baller? I've heard about it. I haven't seen it yet. I'll have to check my sources too for that I know up there in Utah. So putting my ear down to the stone for that, because I hear that's a good one to have. Madeira cask maturated. I'm sure it is, Brian. Sure it is.
Mm. Oh yeah.
Yeah, but this 16 I just stumbled across of, and thanks to the Whiskey Tube channel here in my peeps across the country, I was able to score a 2016 Springbank 10, and oh my goodness, it's amazing. It really is. I'm gonna have to buy a current one just so I can stop hitting this one, because unless I can find another 2016, I don't want this one to go away so soon. Yeah, so I can smell the slight suggestion of peat, the malt, the sweetness on this thing, and it's just sitting here in front of me, wafting up, and I'm just letting it breathe a little more. Oh my gosh.
I like how none of them saw that.
But yeah, this is fine. I mean, just wow. Thank you, sir. It's a Christmas present from 2 years ago. Got another one coming in. I should get right at Christmas or just after that. I'll probably debut coming up. And then I was supposed to go to the Hatter this weekend, but just didn't make it to have another one made. And I just didn't make it. But I'm really going to try this coming weekend, and I got my fingers crossed that I can get up there. But yeah, I try to get at least one a year. I really need one like I need another bottle, but it's one of my favorite little vices is to have hats. And no, you cannot go wrong with the majority of Springbanks. That's for sure. And this 16 was one of those gems that, I stumbled upon, and thanks to Whiskey Knows, that's how I came about it. So I was like, oh my gosh, thank you.
Do you have any old Fitzgerald?
Me?
Yeah.
No.
Have you ever tried any?
No. I saw the birthday bourbon.
I tried this year's birthday bourbon when I was in Kentucky. I got a pour at a bar for $15, and I'd rather had my $15.
And some people said that.
It wasn't really impressive. It was just a little too harsh for my expectations for what people say the bottle goes for. It's like $100 MSRP or something like that. Like, I'd
And
rather
you know
have
what? You spend 15 versus the $100, and it's like, you know what? It was okay, but you know what? It doesn't make me want to run and get it.
No, not at all. I guess I wasn't disappointed for my $15. It was definitely very flavorful, but I definitely think that it lacked in like departments that would have made me pay $100 for it, let alone some kind of secondary crazy market price for it.
Even though I'm coming off of 115 proof, this is very thin, the Springbank, but the flavor just popped out. Like, oh my gosh, that slight smoke, that sweet malt, the together, and that finish is coming back with a light smoky sweetness. Even though, like I said, I was drinking this higher proof bourbon. Wow. Life is good.
Life is always good.
Yes, sir.
Especially when you got holding a Springbank in your hand. So, how long have you had that Buzzard's Roost?
This one I've had for about a month.
Oh, okay.
I've also got a bottle of the straight bourbon whiskey that's not in the toasted, and it's actually barrel strength, and it's at 116. And I've got the cigar blend that's at 105. And I mixed the cigar blend. I mixed half of the cigar, half and half cigar blend in this toasted, and turned it into a boo rye, and waited 2 weeks, and it's really, really good.
Really good. And yes, they can, Chris.
That's a nice hat too. It's not as nice as the hat you had on the other day. The lighter brown, the tan. That's my favorite hat that you own. Yes, sir. That's the one. That's the one. That is so dapper.
It goes with suits. It doesn't make a difference. I mean, you can wear it with a suit. You can wear it with jeans.
Is that classified as a bowler?
It is a bowler.
Yes, sir.
It is a bowler.
God,
And
such a beautiful hat.
So I'm looking. I've got another one coming, but it's a distressed look, and we'll see how that works out. But I'm thinking about either a gray or a black bowler, or the Hamburg, which is very similar to this.
Yeah.
But it'll be creased here.
Yep. First and foremost, I'm a pork pie guy. It's my favorite.
I'm looking at those, but I'm not sure if it fits me.
Love a pork pie, and then after that, I love a nice fedora, but not a wide brim fedora, not a Raiders of the Lost Ark fedora, but going to work in the city every day fedora.
So I'm thinking the next one will be made along those lines, but I can have it made brim, crown height, whatever I want when they make it for me. So I usually will start out with a larger brim and then start having them cut it down and keep trying it on, going from, let's just say, a 5.5 inch brim to a 4 to 3.5.
What's that one? Is that a 2?
This is, hold on. Don't laugh because
it looks like a 2.
It has a 4.5, 4.25 crown. So this is probably a 3 inch, 2.5 to 3 inch brim.
Oh, okay.
But I have some duck on it because it comes down in the front and then comes up on the sides.
It's a real sharp looking hat.
It is. It's a nice one.
Yeah. Mostly when I wear around here in New Mexico, I don't have it around. I mostly wear Panama and Ecuadorian hats because It's too hot for. Most time
It's unmanageable, Chris, as much as bedazzling as they can do.
How many dazzling sequins can they put in it?
It's there was a hat that Chris saw when he was out here, and we were thinking about it for Sean.
Sean.
Whiskey Wars.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
Oh yeah. And it's bedazzled to no end.
So Tats is going in for the knee surgery, huh?
Best of luck.
Yeah.
My grandfather did 2 knee replacements at the same time, and had him give him a spinal, and he watched the operations on camera the whole time. He watched both his knees get replaced.
Yep. Didn't bother him one bit.
Nope.
Mm-mm.
Nope. And when he was done, he was 2 inches taller than he was when he went under the knife.
There you go.
He was back up to 6'11" tall.
There you go. So, what's your next scotch you're getting?
I don't know. I keep looking. I'm trying to find a place that's got a greater selection than most of the places around here. I want something. Actually, I kind of like the Lafroig 10 again. I'm now a fan of that one. I'd like to have a Lafroig 10.
Oh yeah. Well, if you can find the cast strength in it, more power to you.
I'd love to have a Lafroig cast strength. Wow.
I missed them 2 weeks ago at a place. So, but that's just how it goes. You know,
Yeah.
Just how it goes. You win some, you lose some. That's for sure.
Lil just sent you a photo of the hat to show me. Imagine this is just going to be a winner. Imagine it's going to look like Santa Claus's hat. If I was going to be a betting man, I would bet it's a red hat with white frills.
No, but you're close. I just to say, can you see it?
Yeah, I can see that.
But we can get more. We can get more bedazzles around it.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't think I'd ever wear that one.
Oh, but
that's the one
for
that
Sean.
Tat saw for Sean. I think Sean would wear that. I think that he's a rhinestone cowboy.
Exactly what we were saying.
Getting cards and letters from people he don't even know.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That picture just traveled a long way. It came from the other side of the world, literally.
Isn't that cool that the other side of the world can send you something and you get it almost immediately now?
Mm-hmm. It was. Well, his message on chat got here before the freaking before the picture, but anyway, it got here. I mean, hey, it's a long way from Australia.
Yep. It's a long way to Tipperary.
That's right. That's right. But did you say the Lafroig 10 cast strength? Yes.
Yeah, that's
I had to get back on track. I wanted to say Ardbeg 10, but I knew you didn't say that. I'm like, I had to know. He said Lafroig, Anthony. But Ardbeg kept popping.
Ardbeg 10 would be good too.
100 and what was it? Ardbeg 10 is now like 65 here, and it used to be like 55, 58.
No, that's not bad. That $10 increase in price over time is not bad.
Mm-mm.
Do you like the Ugadil, or however you say that? The Ugadil, is that good?
Yeah, Oogie is short. The Oogie.
That's only 5, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, here you go. He's got the 2021 Lafroig Cardesis or Karchus PX cask.
Cartadis PX
Yep.
cask at cask strength.
So I have the Karchus.
See, and that Brian, that's the same way I was. I actually broke out the last of my 10 one night just so I could get rid of it and prove to this guy that I didn't like scotch. And they made me take a breath and wait and then drink it. And I realized I love it. It tastes just like smoked salmon. It's like, oh, it's amazing. Oh my God.
I brought him into the light, Brian.
He
brought
did.
him into the light.
Salmon.
Now I have the Karchus Warehouse one, but I have never found that PX one. I know there's a few still around, but
Good night, Bourbon Baller.
yeah, Bourbon Baller. Cheers, brother. Hope you get over that little nasty mess you got going on. Colds are tough to kick sometimes, but rest up, man.
Hot water, lemon, honey, and bourbon.
Exactly. And if you don't have the lemon and honey, bourbon is fine.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what? I'm thinking I'm going to go back and get another one of this Warehouse one, because right now it's still under a C note and none of them ever set, and they're still there at Liquor Lineup, Brian. So I just may go back there and grab one and put it in one of my stockings there that I've got, because I haven't decided what I want for my stockings. But
And these next
oh
few,
yeah,
these next
I
few
agree
years
with
are so busy. My niece is getting married on the 17th, and
on purpose.
it's the only way you do it. You have to want to be married on purpose. Nobody wants to be married by accident.
That's
Okay.
right.
I've been married 4 times on purpose. Thought it was a good idea. It was for a while, and then it wasn't anymore.
Well, isn't the 5th time the charm?
Hell no.
Oh,
No, the 5th time's not a charm.
well, it wasn't the 4th either for you.
No, nor the 3rd, nor the 2nd, nor the 1st. They were all wrong, but they were fun for a while. They really were. They were very fun for a while.
Sorry, I
They
just
were all
can't help it.
classified as an accident. Thank you very much, Chris Tats.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I may have to go back and get another one of those on there. That's another one that I'm on the fence on, but there's a couple of other ones that I want backups for. I'm still at the point to where I'm trying to decide which ones I got to have, because like Brian and I said, it's what do I have to have now? What is the most important thing to get on this list of 101 things that I absolutely have to have? You know, it's just that you have so much money to spend, and am I going to spend it on what right now? What's in that top 5 that I've got to reach out
I'll be right
and
back.
grab?
Get a bottle.
Get the bottle. Get the bottle.
Hey, you made it. How you
Yeah, I
doing?
thought I'd just come in just to give Eric shit.
Yeah, he'll be back. He's getting a bottle. He's getting a bottle. Well, how's everything down in the land of Oz there in Australia?
I'll be so much happier when this knee surgery is done, because it's giving me absolute hell over the last few days.
Mm-hmm.
It's been back to not wanting me to move around real easy and a lot of pain. So I think it'll be really interesting to actually have a shaved knee.
They're going to go in and clean everything up, basically, and
Yeah, 5 million mile service.
yeah, I got
Yep.
you. I figured that's what you were talking about with the 5M.
Yep. Yeah,
Mhm.
they're cutting back the tear in the meniscus and cleaning out damaged
Mhm.
cartilage under the kneecap, and removing the exploded Baker's cyst in the back of the knee, which is what's always filling the knee with fluid at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
So
Oh, good.
my knee's back to about 1.5 times the size at the moment.
So Tuesday or Wednesday?
Tuesday night your time, Wednesday lunchtime our time.
That's what I was going to say. I was trying to figure this out. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. So it's Monday for you. Yeah.
Like
when you get across the water like you are, it takes.
For your speedy recovery.
Oh yeah.
Thanks.
When does surgery start?
Surgery and I'll be out of surgery in 48 hours.
When does it start?
In probably about 54 hours.
Okay. Oh, so you can still drink and do all that shit. You're not ready to fast yet.
No, I haven't been drinking because I've been on painkillers, and that's what caused me to
That's
do
what
this.
caused that.
Oh no.
Yeah, he had a senior moment when Lilith said, "Hey, let's crack this," and he goes, "Okay." Forgetting he had a little help before that.
It would have been much more fun if it had been barrel proof, but you know.
Yeah.
So, to teach a da.
Oh, Boonahaben. Look at this. Boonahaben. Boonahaben. Which one is that? Oh, yeah, that's the I can't say all that.
Nobody can say that. That word doesn't. Those words don't really exist. It's the Klingon barrel.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. It's some kind of outer space barrel. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, all that they did was just spin the wheel with letters on it, and
Yeah.
That's it.
That's called Scotch. Scots.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, the smoke on this is so amazing.
That's like this Springbank. That Boona, this Springbank, the Talisker, Highland Park, the Scarabus that I have.
yeah, we'll have
is
a
wonderful.
new bottle of Starwood turning up probably Thursday each for Lil and I. With the whiskey club over here did a Starwood cognac barrel pick
Oh, good.
month.
Good.
And they had a Kentucky Spirit pick as well, but they wanted $300 for that, and I just went, "Be real! It's
good, but
it's
not $300.
$125 Australian for a normal bottle of Kentucky Spirit. I'm not paying 3 times the price nearly for a pick."
Exactly. It'd almost be what it would be if I got it here and sent it over there.
Well, it'd be a hell of a lot cheaper.
Well, probably by a good $150.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But still, Kentucky Spirit and something else at Liquor Lineup that you were at here in September with me, Chris. They got a special on that and something else. It was one of their store picks for $100 for 2 bottles.
Oh.
For that and something else, I can't remember what it is off the top of my head. I don't know if they still have it anymore. I think it's all gone. But you couldn't. You'd be dumb not to buy it.
Yeah.
Pick up 2 bottles for $100, Kentucky Spirit for 1, and then you got entered into a raffle for a Willet Purple Top.
Oh wow.
So,
okay.
Yeah. So I mean, but I liked.
Thanks, Bill.
The Kentucky Spirit, but it wasn't my cup of tea. And I've had their pick a couple of times because I could just go and ask, and they pour it to me if they have it up on the rack.
Well, that's what I like about the guys in there. They'll just pour.
Yeah. If they got it open up there, you just go up there and you can try it. You can try it.
God, did they do a lot of pours that morning?
They did a lot of pours that morning. We were there. Yes.
But
yes,
they did get a lot of sales.
So I was just reading a review of this, and somebody compared it to the Oogie. and they said that when comparing the this Buna hop
Laguna.
with the Oogie, that the Oogie is almost a gauche bully.
Gauche
Yeah.
bully. Well now, isn't that something? Gauche bully.
Boy, once you get there is such a, and it's a sweet cherry flavor. Underneath all that astringency and the smoke, there is a cherry, and it's not a medicinal cherry. It's not a Luden's. It's not a cough syrup. This is like a real, just like somebody hid cherry in the remains of a burnt down oak or a burnt down house that had a peat roof.
Hey,
One of the
Lil.
house burnt down. Yeah, she's right there. So
I was going to say she's just to your right, I'm sure. Mm-hmm. Hey, we have to have a monitor. I understand.
yeah, she's not allowed on YouTube anymore without parental supervision.
I thought she was for us. All right, people, the cops are here. Be nice.
Uh-oh.
But
Did they bring handcuffs? Are they cute?
all right, Brian, if you're heading out, cheers, brother. But yeah, feel free to reach out to me. And
Get a reaction.
Don't worry, Eric. I'm sure Lil would quite happily put you in her handcuffs because the number of spoons that have been in them.
yeah. But yeah, Brian, we'll do one on Scotch Oloroso PX.
That was
and
funny.
stuff like that, and
You say
you
that
can
was
just
funny.
take over, brother. Would really looking forward to it.
Well, there is a saying over here, Eric, that that most criminals are spoons, and all the crazies are spoons because they're not sharp enough to be knives and forks.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm. Thanks again for popping on, Brian. Always appreciate it.
All right, Lilith.
Cheers, man.
Well,
That was the most weirdest.
the last of that scotch tried to go down the wrong fucking passage, man. Wow, that tried to kill
Well,
me.
that's what happens when
Wakes
you
you up, doesn't it?
try and drink scotch while
Breathing.
Yeah, you don't want to do it.
Don't breathe and drink at the same time.
Yeah.
Good.
Otherwise, you wind up gargling.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, gargle and spit. Don't try to swallow and breathe.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah, I can say something there, Eric, but
Go ahead. Me too.
I tell you what, this Springbank, now that I've got the palate shock of the 115 proof over, man, it's just super sweet right now with that smoke is perfect. It's sweeter than I remember on there. And even on the finish, even though I've had some water, I'm still getting that peat on the
look in the
palate.
chat, Eric.
Very, very nice. Very nice.
I see. I tried to respond and almost choked to death. So that's 115 proof scotch that you're drinking right now, Anthony, right?
No, I had 115 proof bourbon before.
Oh, but what's
Yeah.
the Springbank? The Springbank's how much is the Springbank?
Springbank is 43 or 46. Hold on.
Oh, okay.
Hold on. Oh, shit. Let me open it. 46. That's what I thought it was. 46 ABV. So what are we talking?
92.
92.
Yeah.
And but the 46 is my sweet spot on the Scotch. 46 and North. 46 and North. Non-chill filtered, no color added. That's the holy grail of Scotches.
It's weird to me that Scotch actually allows you to add coloring.
Well, they've got to, otherwise they wouldn't get color half the time from their barrel.
And people, you got to remember, until they're educated, and that's why I'm really looking forward to when Brian will come on and we get into the Oloroso and the PX and just scotches in general. That if for some they didn't add color, it would look like my water glass with just a little drop of coloring in it. And people would say, oh, that 15-year-old scotch is no good. Look how clear it is. Well, when you're aging them in ex-bourbon barrels, most of the stuff that would color it that's in the barrel is gone because it was used by bourbon.
But not only that, but in Scotland, you don't get the high temperatures.
You don't. Exactly. I was just going to go into that. You're not going to have. Yes.
Yeah,
exactly.
You're not going to draw the colors, the flavors, and the tannins out of the wood in Scotland, because Scotland doesn't get to be 90 degrees or 95 degrees in the afternoon.
No, they don't get that.
132 like it is in some of the rick houses.
That's right. And that's exactly it. If it's 95, 98 degrees outside, the rick houses are 140 degrees inside.
Yeah. So there's a big difference in that. So like I said, the color just makes it more consistent. And so people see that dark color. They go, oh my God, look how dark that is. That's got to be good. Well, it's a 7-year-old scotch. It's okay. It doesn't necessarily mean it's good, but, and then even 12-year-old, 14-year-olds, look at Delmore. They do it all the time, mostly. Not everything they have has color added, but primarily it does. But they do it for the consistency and that people have it. I mean, I tried the Delmore 14 a couple of weeks ago. It was good. I didn't think it was, $179, $189 good. I was like, it's okay. But I didn't think it had a lot of flavor. So I left it sit on the shelf.
It's okay. In a couple of weeks, when I've gone through all my recovery and everything, and I'm off painkillers again, I'll probably crack open that bottle of Dewar's 12-year, which we got given to us, which is the release this month.
Mm-hmm.
It supposedly gets released this month, but we've had it since September.
Yeah, I'd be interested in how that thing goes.
It's finished in bourbon, New Age bourbon, and Oloroso sherry, I think.
But it's a blend of 12-year-old scotches. I'd like to know.
It is nice. We had it when we were at Mark Gillespie's from Whiskey Cast.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'd like to know what blend that is specifically, but
the alcohol I really want to try, but I can't. I mean, there's some here, but I've read the names on them. Zabrovka. It's the Polish vodka, the buffalo grass vodka. They can't make it out of buffalo grass because I guess buffalo grass is a little toxic, but they used to make it like back in the 20s. Zabrovka was made out of buffalo grass. Now it's made out of grains, and then they'll put one piece of buffalo grass in the bottle. But supposedly you can still get the flavor. It's supposed to taste like a freshly mown hay. Like a
JD Bourbon approach. You ought to be able to pick that sucker up. Because he's in Poland right now. Hold on, Chris.
Yeah, Zabrovka. Doers.
Most whiskeys are aged just one time, but Dewar's, we do things a little differently. Choice malt whiskey and the grain whiskeys are aged separately in oak casks for a minimum of 12 years. Our master blender, Stephanie McLeod, blends our matured whiskey together before aging our blend in oak casks once more. The extra step is where this magic really happens. our whiskeys marry together to create an unbelievably smooth whiskey enjoyed the world over. Uh-huh.
Yeah,
So
so
it might
it's
be their distillate.
double aged in first fill bourbon
Mhm.
cask, and the flavors are
Is it good?
dried
He
fruit.
doesn't open it yet. He's going to open it in a couple weeks once he's off
Oh,
everything.
well, we've had some.
How is it?
Well,
Yeah, it's actually not bad. So
well, you
Yeah.
haven't opened that bottle, right?
no,
Yeah, that's the one he's going to open in a couple weeks once he's off the painkillers, and
Is it smoky or not at all?
he. I
only
don't
a
think
little
that
tiny bit, not a lot.
Is it,
The bourbon cask really goes over the top of it all.
and is it peaty? Because one of the things I've
No,
noticed,
not peaty at all.
okay, because some of the Brook Lottie, even the classic Lottie, though there's no smoke added to that, it's obvious that the water has run through peat because you can taste a peaty flavor in the Brook Lottie. It's real slight, but peat has. Oh, I love Port Charlotte. God, I love the Isla barley.
That's what I'm going to pour for my final pour of the night.
That is so good. That is amazing.
Yeah, so Lil's decided that, after having those scotches at Mirage Liquors in Fort Worth, and we're not going to be able to get them, so she's not going to drink scotch.
Is it hard to get them in Australia?
Well, they're the Signatory series,
Oh, okay.
so they're like $300 a bottle US.
Oh,
Imagine what they'd be there.
Mm. And then Ken was living all his vicarious wet dreams through us while we were doing that on his stream.
I bet.
Because I think we did 16 pours in at Mirage Liquors.
Well, man down on this Bunnahabhain.
I thought you were over that there when you were down in Texas.
Yeah, by the end of the night at Matt's place, I definitely was. Because at Matt's place, we did something like about 30 that night on his stream.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. Oh, man.
Well, they're only som pours, so they're only really little, just tasters. They're not.
Give it a good
Well-
swirl job, Bourbon Neophyte. It's gotta be swirled.
Oh, yeah.
Give it the SJ.
It's wonderful. I could tell there's a touch more peat in the Port Charlotte versus the Springbank. That's for sure. Now this was delivered to me by Still Living in the Woods.
I'll tell you what I really want to try, and I know I'm never going to get it because it's really expensive and impossible to find. I want Dark Arts.
There's a black art.
Black
right
Arts.
here. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. There's a black art by me, but
What do they want for?
$5.99.
Huh?
$5.99.
Yeah, and MSRP is like $3.99.
I was gonna say it's about $2.99 or $3.99. I don't know.
$3.99. I was reading about it the other day. MSRP is about $3.99. $5.99. I might, depending on the night and how much I've had to drink, I might order that from somebody.
I hear that.
I've heard it's so good. I've heard it's like one of the best scotches ever.
Yeah, well, people I hear talk about it, and where I know it's at, I saw somebody that said, you know what? Truthfully, it's a good pour, but it's gotten overpriced, but it's really good. But they can't justify, the $600 now. But it's really good. It is really good. You won't be disappointed if you're a peated Scotch drinker. But the price is You know, the 12.3 octomores are out. So, and they're 269, 299, something like that. So they're really getting a little crazy.
But end of Oktoberfest.
That's the link to the YouTube page that Lil has if you want to see Whiskey Crusaders and the stream they did with Whiskey Crusaders and all the wonderful whiskeys they got to sample while they were there. That's the link, or that's it. Or you can just go to Whiskey Crusaders, and it's right there. But I watched it, and towards the end there, you know, Chris is like, "Look, I've got to use the lube." it just after all that time of sitting there, he had to make a trip. That's right. The scotch and water was working.
Who needs water? This is the water of life as it is.
In between different bottles, I always cleanse my palate a little bit with some water. But anyway. But yeah, that one you got rid of, that Bunahab and that cast strength, Eric. I know that's really good, and it's like hen's teeth now if you find one.
Yeah.
And I don't blame Mr. Jackson for drinking that Dickel, because you might as well get rid of it.
That was the only bottle of
a hard time putting this down and picking something else up. That's just really what it is.
It is.
Yeah.
But if you start with that and you stay with it, it's decent. It's when you go with that and then you switch to the right, you switch to the left.
My favorite bottle on my shelf. I'm going to need to go get another one.
Well, what's your favorite bottle?
This one.
Oh, is it?
Oh, yeah. My favorite bottle was this one. Now it's Dickel. I mean, I don't have a very large collection. I probably have like 40 bottles.
Oh, yeah, you don't have a collection yet, but you're getting there. You're starting.
This is my favorite bottle so far.
Enough. I mean,
that's usually my traveling collection that I take to camp on the weekends.
That's in your RV?
At a particular point in time, there's at least a dozen, and I might bring up another 6 to 10 bottles, because I do a lot of tastings up there with some friends of mine that they normally are not going to get a chance to experience.
He does that in Area 52, in case anybody's wondering. It's not close to Area 51. It's right next to it. It's Area 52. And
yeah.
They get there and they drink bourbon and whiskey.
That's right. Area 52 is where we drink the bourbon before we go to Area 51.
Then they go to Area 51 and watch the UFOs take off and land, and they get anally probed. It sounds like a bunch of fun, really.
It is. You ought to come up for that.
I will.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Yeah, so that's right. The link for Ken's stream too, for when we were having drinks at Mirage Liquors and we had all those signature bottles. You got to go into a timestamp of about 3 hours, 17 minutes into the stream.
I tell you what, one day when Ken's on this spring or summer, if I'm out that way and the signal's good and the tide is high and the moon is full and the stars are in alignment, I'll have to stream from one of the back gates of Area 51. Just do a few minutes just to say, here it is. This is what it looks like.
Well,
but you're still 10, 15 miles from the base at that gate.
But even if you get close enough to see the gate, they're sending somebody out to see what you want.
I'm close enough to see the gate to where you'll see the people looking at you.
Yeah.
But if I took a step from that line and went in,
they shoot you.
They can. Yeah, that the sign says basically deadly force is authorized.
Step across, die.
Yep, pretty much. Pretty much. But you can go right up to this area and you'll see them looking at you. They look at you, you wave at them, they wave back. They know. I mean, the people there know it's not a. They're not bad people. They just got a job to do.
Do airplanes still take off from McCarran and fly out there and back, or
Janet? It's called Janet. Yep.
So there is still something that goes on out there.
No, nothing goes on at Area 51.
Nothing goes on at Area
But they fly plane loads of people out there, so nothing goes on.
No, nothing goes on at Area 51.
Okay, there's
never goes on.
Thing that goes on Area 51.
Guided government tours.
Area 51 just sends a plane load of people out to gather rocks and pick weeds.
Yes. Keep it clean. Invasive species of weeds are ruining the desert out there. Yeah.
Alien species of weeds are destroying the desert. I get it.
You know, though, people don't realize, too, is that area, not only where that place is, but that's also what we call the Nellis.
Yeah, Nellis
bombing range and stuff is all around there. So it's a huge government controlled area, larger than most people think. And there's only, let's just say, 20% of the land in Vegas is owned by me and you.
Right.
The rest is the government.
Right. It's the same way here in New Mexico. Where I live in southern New Mexico, White Sands Missile Range owns more land than anybody else.
Yeah.
Because that's what they test missiles, and they got to have a lot of room to test missiles.
Yeah.
You don't exactly own it. You're just releasing it from the government.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, think though in Australia, there's a lot of government land that they own there that is way more than anything else, because it takes Chris a couple of days to go from one end to the other to where he lives, to go to where he literally crosses a border. Because you're 4 days from Ken if you drove?
5.
Yeah.
Damn, that's a huge place.
Yeah. Australia is huge.
It all depends. If you were constantly driving, you had multiple drivers and you could just keep driving, you could do it in 4 days.
Yeah.
So him leaving his state to go to Ken's is like us traveling from the West Coast to the East Coast.
Yeah. That was one of the places.
Well, actually, it's like going from Washington, D.C., driving down to Florida, driving across the southern border, then into L.A., then up the West Coast to around about Oregon.
There's when I was thinking about re-enlisting in the military, there's actually a U.S. military outpost at Ayers Rock.
No, it's at Pine Gap.
Pine Gap, but it's close to Ayers, right? I mean, it's
no.
It's in outback New South Wales.
Okay. But that sounded kind of fun, but then I just decided I wanted to go home and go to school.
Yeah, supposedly it's a CIA listening post.
Yeah, but there's military out there too.
Yeah. But then we've also got 5,000 Marines based in Darwin now too, so.
Really?
Yep.
You know,
we've got a permanent training presence now in the Northern Territory of the U.S. Marines.
Wow.
Well, the United States, Canada, UK, and Australia, we're cousins. So, hey, go to NORAD. Who's sitting in there? It's not all Americans. Sitting in NORAD and sitting in some of the posts that are doing that. I mean, it's always been that way. Canadians, Australians, UK, Americans are all in that same mountain doing the same thing. And what's funny is I had this conversation, it hadn't been more than a couple of weeks ago, but I go, did you look at our flag? Look at the Canadian flag colors. Look at UK. Look at Australia flag colors. They're all red, white, and blue. Mm-hmm. Except for Canada. They're the oddballs, but that's okay. But it's red, white, and blue.
America Junior.
Yeah, but the Canadian blue is the color of the flagpole.
Yeah.
Right.
I was going to say, I think their flagpole is a color, but
Yep.
And this was the conversation we had. If Parliament in the UK at the time would have allowed representation of the American colonies, might still have a British flag flying. But that was the whole thing about representation and taxation. The colonies were not represented in Parliament. They wouldn't let them have a representative there to speak for the colonies. And so hence that kind of started things going to where we are now. As in, well, then if you won't let us speak and we're supposed to be governed by you, we are a colony. Anyway, it was a conversation that just popped out of nowhere with some people, and one of them was a real big history buff, and I'm like, well, you're right. But
Black,
Ugh.
gray, or green.
What?
anyway, well, I'm glad I picked this as the last pour of the night because it's really hitting the spot, particularly with the sweetness and the smoke. So the
Yeah.
Port Charlotte Isla Barley, 2011. This is definitely worth it. Did you pour more eggnog, Mr. Jackson? I thought you did. I thought I saw that, but then I saw you drinking that.
That's my last pour of the night.
Mm-hmm. Okay. The eggnog. I don't blame you.
Nice
Take it
and
with you.
Finish it off.
Still a bit of battery.
Yeah, I just got to remember,
Bit of battery.
put that back in the
In the
fridge.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But like I said, now that I added the more booze to it, that really helped it because it was lacking. But it actually tasted like you put too much booze in it. But really, I'm like, there's just no way it can be.
See,
It
I'll
just-
send you some. I'll send you some of this one. You got to put some of this in there. And then tell me what you think.
Hey,
That's-
I'll be waiting. Get it here, and I'll put it in there, and you'll know the string.
Hmm.
You'll know the string. That way, you'll know. But like I said, now I'll just pep this up, or I'll just buy the non-alcoholic one, and spike it to taste.
Right there, you go.
But what Bourbon Baller said, I might use the cognac.
That's good with it. Yeah.
Well, he made a good point, and I thought about it, and I go, I've had some cognac. It's definitely different, and I think that might go well with it. And like you said, you might put another egg in it or something like that, and whip it more to get it a little more creamier.
a little more creamy, a little more thick.
Mhm.
See, I like the extra booze in there to give it that extra kick. But I feel like when I put it in just this by itself, it makes it a little too thin for me. So I mix in like a little bit thicker eggnog and
Yeah.
then the more booze,
I
and it
like
evens it out.
The thinner the eggnog, the better.
Oh, I want it thick. I almost want to chew on it.
Well, like I said, I originally thought I'd be sticking a straw in there and working on it like a freaking Frosty. That's what I was figuring until I took that sip, and I'm like, yeah, that didn't happen.
Right.
It just was not my cup of
But
tea.
I was right when I told you to add more alcohol. to it.
Add more booze. That's right.
I mean, I'm
Add more
going to
booze.
say this. It's just like any kind of recipe anywhere ever. You get in what you put out of it. You put in that 101 proof, you're going to get that out of it. You put this into it, you're going to get that out of it. You know?
All right.
Well, they probably didn't use this in there. That's for sure.
I'm going to bed.
They definitely did use that.
You all have a good night.
Eric,
Chris, I hope you have a good surgery, man.
well, we'll see him. We'll see him next weekend. Well, or next Monday for him because he'll
Cheers,
have
Eric.
the surgery, and
Cheers, CJ.
we'll get an update.
God, that looks so good. I love it. I love eggnog.
You're going to have to get some this week, Eric.
I will. Talk to you
All right. But it is good. Now that I put more booze in it, I will say, yeah, it's definitely worth it. It's definitely worth it. But finishing the night up with with this was, yep, see there? I was going to say that Dickel might ruin it.
I don't know. It might. I didn't want to open the Evan Williams yet, but
I don't blame you. But I opened this because I knew I was going to have a little Evan Williams.
oh, that's good.
Oh, okay. I was like, uh-oh, did that Dickel ruin it?
Oh, that's great.
All right, his last pour might be another pour of that with a little more Dickel juice in it.
Yeah.
But
oh man, don't talk me
I
into it.
opened this to have because I knew this profile, and being that was Evan Williams, I figured, okay, let me stick on the same plane, and so I had that.
Add a little more lighter fluid to the fire. That'll help.
Well, I wanted to have a pour, but I didn't want to go and grab something off profile before I had that.
I'll feel you. All right. Yeah.
So I wanted to keep on the same. I wanted to keep on the same plane before I did anything else. So that's why I went for the Evan Williams bottled and bond, because it was Evan Williams Egg Nog. So,
yeah.
Anyway.
Maybe like Henry McKenna would be a better.
Well, that's right there.
You know, yeah, that might be a better ad.
I didn't think of that, but
it's
maybe
like it's a similar.
Ancient Heaven Hill would be even better, but you know,
which one?
Yeah.
Ancient Heaven Hill, the 10-year Ancient Heaven Hill. It's really good, especially the pre-fire stuff. That's Ancient Age.
I know, but
it's like Ancient Age.
Ancient Age, baby.
But it's the Ancient Age, which is good.
But it's an Ancient Age. It's Ancient Age 10.
See, I can't find that around here. I can find the regular Ancient Age.
Whiskey Nose dropped it off to me.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. Yep. It's good to have people that come out to Vegas once in a while, because you know they let me know when they find stuff.
Well, none of you buggers fly over here.
Well, gosh, we don't have an all day to travel. What is it? 16 hours?
Yeah, about that from Dallas. It's 15 from Dallas, I think.
They don't do any mid-air refueling, do they?
No. Although they've just restarted the Melbourne to Dallas flights. So. We were kind of hoping that they'll start the Brisbane to Chicago flights.
You know what? A lot of flights are starting to come back now, 2022, to pre-pandemic levels. Some routes still aren't open, particularly into Asia and stuff like that. There's not like it was.
And that's because a lot of Asia is still in COVID lockdowns.
Yes. Yeah, they seem to be having it's rearing its head over there. Again, although we're seeing a little uptick on this end of the world too, and particularly in Vegas, the numbers are starting to go up. And what's the one now? They're calling it, it's a respiratory thing, RSV, as in Victor. But mostly it's hitting the kids, but the hospitals are full of it. Yep. And that's what they're talking about now, are these upper respiratory infections that it's mostly affecting young children. And the tests are in very, very short supply, like the COVID tests were 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know if you guys are hearing about that RSV there in Australia or not.
Yeah, we've I think we've only had about 2 cases of it though.
Oh, no, we've got 10 times that.
Okay, Anthony, I'm going to send you one extra sample, but you have to put it in your eggnog.
Okay. As in 50-50, as in the Evan
I
Williams
mean-
with that,
I mean,
or that
Pour some,
alone?
eggnog, pour some eggnog and just
Give it a snort. Yeah.
give it a little
No.
of that.
That's the eggnog I have, correct? It's already has some juice in it. Okay. I didn't know if you wanted me to get the unjuiced.
Just this.
Okay. Well, I know where to get it. There's plenty on the shelf and then some.
Oh
And
yeah, there's cases upon cases on the show.
Yeah.
They'll have it till next May.
For like, yeah. I was going to say I think it was $8.99, $9.99. You can't go wrong.
Oh, that's good. It's like $10.99 here. But
Yeah. It could be $9.99. I don't know, but I know I was just going to say I think it's $10 or less.
yeah, it's like $10 here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh wow, that's better than the Dickel.
Righty then, gentlemen. Well, might leave you guys to finish up your last drinks, and we will talk with you
Yeah,
after I've had
well,
surgery.
Exactly. Shoot
Cheers,
me a
sir.
text, shoot us a text and stuff like that.
Yep,
Just to
we'll
let
do.
us know what's cooking. So we know how you are and wish you well and a speedy recovery. And then I'll see you on Ken's stream.
Yep, too easy, man.
Yep. Cheers, brother.
Cheers.
Catch us later. See ya.
Anyway, yeah, the eggnog turned out to be okay. I wasn't,
Yeah,
like I said,
I've
in the
been
beginning.
a fan of it for a few years now. It's pretty good. They do a nice job with it.
I've drank it. When I say drank it, I haven't ever had booze in it, and it was okay. It was just sweet. It was thick, and it was like, I could take it or leave it. And then I saw this the other day, and I'm like, I've never had it. When I say spiked, already had the booze in it. So I picked up a bottle. I'm like, hey, shit, this isn't too bad. I mean, but there was something about it that just wasn't my cup of tea. But then once Eric and Bourbon bought them, said add more booze to it. Boom. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. It was like, oh my gosh, yes.
It's a little proofier, but at the same time, it's just more sweetness. So you add that extra layer. It's not, I don't want to say it makes it sweeter, but it adds that additional layer of sweetness, you know? So it's like more flavor profile.
No, I got it. I absolutely got it. But it was better with adding some more whiskey to it. Definitely better.
Oh, yeah.
It balanced. It was more balanced, and it had a much better flavor to it than what I was getting before I added anything to it. So
Right. Definitely. Yeah, I definitely like it. I would say try different ones. Find your favorite whiskey and add a little to it. It might change the flavor profile for you a little bit. I'm noticing that the different ones that I add are changing the profile a little bit, and it's making it better. Definitely, I feel like the old saying goes, like you get in what you get out of it. So whatever you put in, you're going to get more out of it. So
now, in this case, you're 100% right, because the different whiskeys that I added to it, or the one that I added to it, definitely took it to another level, to where I'm like, okay, I can sip on this. I definitely can sip on this throughout the night and actually go back for some more. But the way it was out of the bottle, heck no. No, not at all. Not at all. All right, Christian. Well, I really appreciate you coming on. I'm going to end this stream here and call it a night.
Well, it was good having a drink with you, Anthony. Thanks for having me.
Dude, it's great having you on, especially when you're not working like a dog and you can make it.
Oh man, it seems like this is the only night I can make it sometimes. So I'm glad you're here.
imagine that. I'm here at this time. So anyway, cheers, brother. Cheers to everybody in chat.
Everybody in
Appreciate you
chat.
guys all here. Always a pleasure. Have a good night, and I'll see you next week.
Cheers.
Cheers.